selfish because I love you. What? All right, we starting off already because don't ask me what that's doing already. I ain't said not one word, literally not one word, and it's already talking about some gifting is restricted. I ain't said nothing. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a message for the collective. Collective, my messages are timeless, so when you see them is when you're meant to hear them. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Also, please don't forget to hit the post notification bell so you can get alerts when my videos are posted. If you're new to my platform, welcome. Hit that subscription button. It would totally mean the world to me. Alright, I don't know what is going on, but everything is now started going extremely slow. Anyway, this message is going to be brought to you by I Don't Teach Tarot. Click the link in the bio. Please and thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for being here. Come on in. Hit that subscription button. Also, let me let y'all know. So, the message that I gave y'all yesterday about the DNA land and all this other stuff, why I done seen a couple more videos today. One guy was teaching the exact same message that I taught yesterday, but he actually has some books, some colored books that are available. There's another girl that I seen today. She said that she went to that registry, the BIA, Bureau of Indigenous something, and she found during her DNA and her background and everything else, she found that her family had over 100 and something acres of property and land. One of the children in the family was gifted 40 acres, 40 acres, right? They had 100 and something acres, but this child, her land was given away before she was even 21. So somebody, and I forgot what she said. Let me see if I actually saved it. If I saved it, y'all can listen to her herself, because these are people that are actively and I told y'all, as I find out what is happening and how it's going, I will definitely, you know, bring y'all the tea and the information. And she's saying that she's literally now going to find out and uncover this one right here. She found it through newspaper clippings and articles.
I found a newspaper article of my great-grandmother selling Willie James's plot of land. She's only selling 40 acres of the 160 acres. But what ChatGPT was telling me, that this was often done by grifters, and I didn't know what a grifter was, but it was a white lawyer. And right down here it says J.A. Rutherford, and we're going to get him. But the main point is that this land was sold in 1919. Willie James was born in 1899. You cannot sell the land of a child until they are 21 years old, no matter what their parent says. So that means the original deed of this land has been void from the beginning. That means that this land is my land. The whole thing. And if they only sold plots of 40, that means the rest of the land is somewhere. The BIA got it hidden somewhere because they said that they can't find the heirs of the land. Well, I found you, baby, and I'm on the way. Okay?
On the way, period. Mind you, she's not wrong. It's the same thing that I told y'all about how the government, our US government, was the ones that was actually behind some of these things, because they started saying that the people couldn't stay on the land, but they could. Mind you, they had no rights to the land because they came here after the fact. So the guy that I saw this morning doing the message, he literally has the books that go back way back before, like I told you, they start history at this point. And then if nobody actually actively looks or goes back, then that's where history is. So like I told y'all yesterday, and I'm starting to find more and more people, and it's amazing how the minute something takes place, or it starts to, God starts to show me something, all of a sudden then they'll start showing me also the people who are actively involved in this, and are doing the very thing that I'm saying. And even if they haven't gotten the actual assets yet, they're literally making sure that they are able to uncover, and they're going through the indigenous records. Now yesterday when I gave y'all that message, I gave y'all a lot of codes that were in there. Mind you, then a lady ended up coming on yesterday, and she said, this is where your land is. She used the place that was in Kansas. Mind you, there's so more registries that y'all can actually check into and check out. So the thing is, again, together we stand, divided we fall. If more and more people are actually actively looking and coming into it, and they can find documentation on their family and their documents and their paperwork, the history is already there. They already stated the facts that you need, or that any of us need, to say that they did this. So they can't go back on it, because those laws that I actually showed y'all, the Johnson versus Tosh, and also the Indian tribal records, all of those things are already documented. So they can't go back and say, and this is also how God works, and I love this because this has happened many, many times, right? God will allow a person to do something to you for the infraction. When they say the weapon will form, but it shall not prosper. And even if it looks like they have prospered from it, like, they could have, but eventually they will have to pay for it because it was done illegally. And so whatever it was that they thought they did, the fact that they try to cover up and hide it. Sorry, we're not able to save your video. Why not? The fact that they thought that they could cover up and hide it later on, or the fact that they thought that they could just erase the history, and then nobody would go and look up, because what they said, if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. But meanwhile, the classification of even what they thought was a nigga is starting to come out, and find out that some of these people, because I'm gonna look up the word, but it always seemed that it mean to be ignorant to me. But anyway, long story short, the trickery that they tried to play on and pull out also is going to be the very thing that ends up proving to us, or proving the rights and everything else. So this is just another thing that is showing that they tried this to do us this way, and then all of a sudden it is now going to be the very thing that helps us. Y'all, I'm trying to get to my stuff, and I can't get to anything. Like, everything seems like it is doing something weird. Okay, so we got that one set. That's doing what it's doing. I don't know why this is not wanting to. It's a lot of clicking happening, as y'all hearing, but not a lot of action taking place. So as soon as I pull it up, we'll be ready to go. Mind you, it was just going to be what it was going to be, because it wasn't really a direct energy. And then I was listening to, because maybe this might be the thing, Cardi B has a song called Nice Guy. Was that, no, it wasn't even that one. It was whatever the song, I want to say it's Nice Guy. I was listening to it a minute ago, and for some reason that was the song that um popped in my spirit a minute ago, before I even was here. Let me see. It is, yeah, I think it was Nice Guy. Um, Playing with me foolish because I'm my I don't know. I'll go look up the lyrics because, as y'all know, this is how certain things start. It'll be, the download of this, that, or the third, and then all of a sudden it goes into everything else. So if I can get this together, we will be cooking with gas. But as of now, it's just still being weird. Oh, let me tell you about my dream last night. Wasn't really much of anything, but something happened because the power went out. Mind you, I was listening to the Kabbalah again, and it talks about the initiation and people, those who have ears, let them hear. How that, I don't know if I want to call it a religion. I guess I do, but anyway, it is the mind. What they talk about, how like manifestation, when you're manifesting something, or, and it's more than that. I'm just saying it this way, just because your mind has control and power. The mind is mightier and more powerful than what we even think or what we know. All right, I'm gonna just leave this alone. Let's just go to the. I'm gonna go to the Al Fatiha, the prayer. And we're gonna go from there, and just whatever happens after that happens, okay? Because whatever's going on with this computer is definitely not right. All right, so in the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful, all praises for Allah, Lord of all worlds, the most compassionate, most merciful, Master of the day of judgment. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Guide us along the straight path, the path of those you bless, you have blessed, not those you are displeased with or those who are astray. Then we're going to go over here. We're going to go to Psalms 91. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rapport. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that strikes in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. If you say the Lord is my refuge, and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent. For He will command His angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. Have a wonderful day, RJ. Huh? Yeah, it's fine. No disaster will come near your tent, for He will command His angels concerning you. Y'all forgive me for that. Maybe I should start all over. Let me start all over. See you later. It was my son, so I'm gonna start all over because I don't like interrupting the prayer. Okay. Psalms 91. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rapport. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. If you say the Lord is my refuge and make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent. For He will command His angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against the stone. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent. Because he loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. Amen. All right. For some reason, Rumpelstiltskin's popped in my mind. So we're going to go over here and see if anything is working the way that it's working like it's supposed to be working. But anyway, we're going to just be here because we here for however long we're going to be here, however long it takes, okay? All right, so dream. Last night I woke up, it had to be around 12:54, somewhere around there. Here we go again, taking a long time. Anyway, so the thing is, I don't know what woke me up, but for some reason it was like darkness, like a wave. Maybe like space or something, but it was a wave, dark blue, navy blue. It seemed like it just washed over my whole body, and I felt warm, right? um the weird part is I was going to lay there. It just keeps saying it's not responding, something's not responding. I need to write some stuff down, because this is how stuff starts and messages start coming across that we didn't even know was a part of the message, right? Because then stuff just got interrupted. So we'll see what the download starts to be, because apparently something is happening. But mind you, my screen is blank right now. Anyway, and it keeps saying the page is not responding. But it's saying morning message. Then it's saying exit the page or wait. But mind you, I'm trying to go somewhere else, but this shouldn't even be popping up here right now. So do with that information what you will, but it's like a slowdown. But it has been all day long where it seems like everybody is late, but mind you, I'm still on time. Because even in the midst of, I pushed the button when it was time. And on top of that, I pushed the button when it was time, and nothing was actually programmed the way it needed to be programmed, but it went anyway. So I wasn't going to worry about it. I just wanted to make sure I was on time, because of the fact that everybody else I have been pushing along today, like, but mind you, pushing along to let them know that I can't let my time mess, or their time intermingle with my time, which is important, because your time and God's time is not their time. So my time was still now, but also you waiting on people, because that was what it was giving me. You can't wait for them. So either they ready or they getting left. That was basically what it seemed like is being given, because even still, whatever this is doing, even on this channel, waiting or getting left. Anyway, back to, because we still gonna go with the message regardless of the fact. Anyway, so I decided to get up because I started looking. I told y'all I'm streaming live on Twitch, right? Now all of a sudden it's having a problem. So streaming live on Twitch, and whatever happened, it made me look at the camera, and I realized that those buttons that were up there, nothing was going, nothing was running, because there's a timer on it. Remember I said running out of time, right? So as I'm looking at that, that's the thing that made me move, because I'm saying something's not right. Then I happened to look up at my screen, my TV, because something was different in my room. Now, before I went to bed, it was the screen that I have my camera on, my security system on, is on one wall in my room. So that TV was on. Also, because I was streaming and my tripod is broke, I took the light from one of the other cameras to be able to add a little bit more light to my room, and I had that face towards the other wall, right? So that way it wouldn't be shining on me, but it would still give enough light into the room. That was off. So now I'm saying something's not right. Like, what happened? Because it seemed like the power must have went out, right? So when I get up, But don't forget, I had just had a dream. A wave washed over top of me. Something wasn't right. Anyway, so when I get up, I have a plant that's in my room that is very stable, just as stable as this thing right here. It sits on the floor. No reason for it to be able to knock over. Like this is not just going to fall over. Everything is the way it needs to be. Um, that was on the floor, like knocked over. And I was confused because I'm saying, how did that get knocked over? But anyway, as I'm going to the bathroom, because now I'm like, something's not right. But you know how you wake up and it seems like you're very disoriented, right? So the fact that Twitch has shut off was one thing, because that is tied to something else pertaining to me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm actively doing that for a reason. So that was turned off. The TV was turned off. The light was turned off. That's three different things. The plant being knocked over. I go to the bathroom. Then I reset the phone. Turn the phone back on. Put it back to where it needed to be. I said, okay. So I put everything back, and then I ended up going to lay back in the bed. But what I didn't do was what I would normally do, is come downstairs to reset the phones that are actually attached to that as well. So could mean nothing, could mean anything, could mean everything. But at that moment in time, it was the dream that was what was important. So let me put this in here, because, mind you, it was short. It was literally, and everything turned blue. That was the thing. Like, it was almost like my whole entire body turned blue. So that was the other part. When the wave came over me, I felt warm. It seemed like it went through my body like a cleansing, and I turned blue. And then I woke up. But mind you, I'm listening to the Kabbalah, which is already strange, already in its own rights, and you know what I mean? Because it's talking about, all right, so let me see. I'm gonna say, while I was asleep. Anybody that does dream analysis, let me know what y'all think too. So I'm gonna type in, and then I'm gonna go over to the side where the message is actually at, and so we'll go and do whatever we're doing, because there's a lot of stuff happening all at one time, and this shit's still going slow. So the Kabbalah was playing while I was asleep. I woke up, and we'll get the angel number for 1245. No, 1254. 1253, 1254, somewhere around there. Anyway, because when I looked at this, don't even worry about it. 1, 2, 5, 4. The dream was, and it almost seemed like what space would be, but it was a wave of space, which is weird, because space is probably like open. And but yesterday, the whole, and the last night part of yesterday was weird all on its own. So anyway, take it how it resonates. Why? Because I just had a strange sense to do this. Like, it was almost like being on autopilot. I had to do this, and then I had to do this, and then I came and got on live. But there's a thing about spiritually, and I remember doing a message one time about when you go in front of gods. So when you go in front of God, you're supposed to be clean, like all the way clean. Wipe down, breath, teeth wash, everything. So there's that. Kabbalah was playing while I was asleep. I woke up 12:45. The dream was a wave. what seemed like space. Space is open. Waves are water like, and it felt warm. I just want to make sure I ain't missing nothing so that way we can see what it is. Straight talk. Hey, okay, edges. Period. Thank you. I am cracking up. Waves are like, waves are like, waves are water, and they felt warm. All right. So after the wave went over me, I felt warm, and then I turned blue. But it wasn't like, it was like the skin. Like my body turned blue. Like the Avatar. Oh, and then this is one of the things. Something else that was being made aware to me is like this body is not me. It is just a vessel, like the meat suit. So I am my spirit, my soul. I'm gonna leave this there the same way it just was, but then that was the thing. Like, even if they are trying to get rid of you or trying to kill you, you can't die because you are your soul. Your soul, your energy, your everything is what is put in this vessel, this body. And so it does something else. But mind you, y'all, it's just been some weird stuff playing out because, all right, let's see what this thing say. And I'm gonna put it in both areas. I'm gonna put it in Google. So I'm gonna do a dream analysis in both areas. I'm gonna put it in chat. I'm gonna put it in Google, and see what they come up with to compare either one if they let me. Because right now, oh, okay. Apparently that must be important. They letting me do that. All right, Google. Period. Let's see. Dream analysis. And mind you, for everybody that just came in here, I seen a guy this morning giving the same message. Mind you, he was on live giving the same message that I gave yesterday. And he literally has some books with like colored timelines and things of this nature in it. And he literally was saying exactly what I was saying. Like, I be loving God when God does that. Like, you're definitely on the right track. Dream analysis for this. What? And he had books and everything that was showing the timelines that happened before these people got here, and he was saying the very same thing that I was saying, as to legally, even if we was to use their laws legally, we would be able to go back in front of them with all the information that we have now and the information from the court proceedings that they have already done. And we should be able to, if the court is going to act accordingly, as in the court should act and use their laws, and be able to get the property, the land, everything back. If the court don't do that, then I already told you yesterday the other part, because you know they already had it set up where they have been scammers and liars already. And so that would also tell you that this system ain't for us, and that would also mean that this system would have to go, because they're not upholding their own laws. But mind you, everybody has been tapped into whatever this message is, and however it's coming along, same exact way. So if we use their laws, then technically they would have to give it back, because we need to go back before they did whatever they did. They had no right, no bearing here at all, period. So whoever the people were, you know, and not saying nothing about the ancestors and things of this nature, there was a language barrier. They didn't speak the language they spoke. And so with that being said, that was also how they used trickery. But mind you, they know they use trickery, so there is a leg to stand on. And this is why I'm saying, where are the people who are claiming they really want to help? The attorneys that actually belong to, you know, this system already. If they really wanted to help, that's how they could start. All right, so it says let's break it down energetically, symbolically, and energetically. First, the Kabbalion plan why you slept is significant. The Kabbalion is based on Hermetic principles, especially the principles of mentalism, all is mind, the principle of vibration, the principle of correspondence, as above, so below. Mind you, it was 7, and that's why I said the other day it was 7 levels in heaven, but also the book of Enoch. Something about it, I need to go back and look at it, and I never went to go actually find the Bible because I wanted to, the book of Enoch, because I wanted to bring it here with y'all too. Anyway, the principle of correspondence, as above so below. The principle of polarity. When spiritual or philosophical teachings play during sleep, your subconscious can integrate with them deeply. Now let's see your dream symbols. The wave of space that felt like water. Water equals emotion, spirit, cleansing, subconscious. Space is vastness and cosmos, higher consciousness. A wave of space suggests expansion of consciousness, a download of higher awareness, being immersed into something greater than you currently identify with. The fact that it felt warm is important. Warmth usually represents safety, divine love, activation, energy awakening instead of fear. This was not a nightmare. It sounds like an intention type experience. It was definitely not a nightmare, and it was just basically that part. So whatever was happening before that, it was literally that part that was, you need to see this and then wake up. And mind you, it felt really, really good. Except for, like I said, when I woke up and all the other stuff was happening, I felt disoriented, like I didn't go to sleep like that. Anyway, the blue transformation is very symbolic. Blue spiritually means throat chakra, truth expression, higher wisdom, cosmo communication, and connection, divine communication. In the movie Avatar, the Na'vi are the deeply connected to nature, energy, and planetary consciousness. Becoming blue in your dream could symbolize awakening to a higher frequency, becoming more aligned with universal energy, shedding an old identity, moving into a more spiritually aware version of yourself. Blue skin is spiritual. Why now? That's giving me what is that lady's name? She is Jamaican. It is Spice. Um, when was this? It was either a couple weeks ago or something. Like, I happened to be scrolling, and then out of nowhere she pops up, and mind you, you know her color is blue, but whoever did her makeup, she looked like an avatar that day. And okay, so I don't know why she just, popped into my mind. Anyway, um all right, whatever the spice is, maybe that could be also the thing. But spices are herbs, herbalism. So that's also healing and things of that nature. So it could pertain to something like that. But anyway, divine communication. In the movie Avatar, the Navi people got that. Become more aligned with universal energy, shedding an old identity, moving into a more spiritually aware version of yourself. Blue skin is spiritually symbolic, also represents being not of this destiny. That's funny because that that is like a confirmation on something else to me. So the fact that it said that is kind of strange too. All right, so just so y'all know, remember I was talking to y'all about timelines and things of that nature, right? Blue skin in spiritual symbolism also represents being not of this destiny, like stepping into a lighter energetic state. But not of this destiny, it's like somebody could have hijacked the timeline, right? And how timelines get hijacked is what I explained to y'all yesterday. Charlene, hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. She said hi from Alaska, and period. So how timelines get hijacked is people intertwining themselves or involving themselves with other entities, other people. Those are the entities. As they go through down spiral, like, you know how during the wheel, and something about that is important too, because it was when I went to sleep or something. It's the wheel of fortune. You know how sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. And I explained to y'all that I've seen a lady, she explained it better than anybody I've ever seen. Because even when you explain timelines, and you can say this timeline is running at simultaneously. So these people may be up here and they're not being affected by certain things, and your timeline could be here and you could be being affected by certain things. This person's timeline could be here, not, and they're being affected by certain things but not other things. Meanwhile, all these timelines are running simultaneously, right? So how a timeline gets hijacked, and which what people would say destiny swapping and some other stuff, right, is that you being you on this timeline, and you were born here. This person is born here on this timeline, right? Lower but same timeline, right? Same experience. This person born on this timeline, higher but same experience, right? Same time happening. So if you being in this timeline, you experience it highs and lows, you actually can reach this person's timeline, right? But mind you, this person's timeline also goes, highs and lows also. So everybody's timeline is like a wave of frequency, right? All right, so what ends up happening when you experience a high, you get here, and depending upon what you do on this timeline, you connecting with this person. But this person, this is their low of their timeline, right? And so they're experiencing whatever. Anyway, so if you meet a person that's higher than you on their timeline, and it's when you're on the way going up and they haven't gone up yet, then they can kind of hijack your timeline and take you higher, right? We review your appeal and confirm that gifting and visibility for this live cannot be restored in recommendations and search. I didn't even say nothing. Like when they gave me that violation, mind you, it's been several different things. So whatever is happening, something is off and weird, because literally I had just turned it on and all of a sudden I was getting a violation. And down there saying my appeal was not approved, but meanwhile, I ain't said nothing. I don't get it. Anyway, it could be affecting whatever that live is. So don't know, but matter of fact, how about I just disconnect y'all asses? How about that? Because TikTok be getting on my nerves. So we just gonna end you right here, right now, and then we'll start again. So this could be the thing, just needing to be started over, because what the hell is that? Nobody did anything. Nobody was even here. That's the strangest thing. Y'all, more distractions. Let me not even worry about it. Let me just turn it back on and do what it needs to be done, because that was weird. All right, so shut that down, start again. All right, so this person whose timeline you went up to, because they haven't moved yet and they're just moving along their timeline, you can actually move up with this person on the timeline, and it would probably be fine because you were on the up anyway. The issue comes in is if you're on this timeline, this person's on this timeline, and this person's on this timeline. So use the person that's on a higher timeline. Say they take a dip in their timeline and they meet you down on your timeline. Now they're going to be feeling uncomfortable because they don't belong on this timeline. That could also, create havoc or whatever, but that person is automatically going to go up anyway. So if a person hijacks your timeline on a higher level, it almost seems like it's a whole lot better than you intersecting with a person on a lower level. Mind you, because this is what happens. If you're on this timeline and then you take a dip and you go down here, and this person, this is all they know, it is, whatever their timeline is, and they have their ups and downs, and it's not really ever been to your level of timeline, and now you intersect with this person down here, and this person, is cool for them. I think in another time they call it like a temperature, like where you're used to being at. And so this person, you take a dip and now you intersect with this person. Mind you, their timeline has never reached this high or that high. And so now you meet them there and y'all have, comments like what I told y'all about the guy that said, oh, I figured you was going through something and I was going through something and we should go through something together. Mind you, this nigga been in jail his whole entire life. No. So I cussed his ass out, because if you actually cared about me, then you would say, let her get herself together, and then I mean, it happened, right? Let me get herself together, and then if it works out, then we can. This is my clean skin club, clean towel too order, because I don't know why today I just been on hot, and so um they can make you, you're not make you anything. You come down to their timeline, is how she explained it. And then now you want to bring this person up because you have experienced highs, but this person has never experienced anything remotely close to that. And so now it makes them feel uncomfortable because they can't be there. But mind you, she explained it on men and women, how men and women are always mostly on two different timelines. And so the girl was the one that she was explaining was on the higher timeline, and the dude was on this timeline. And it makes sense because of the fact that that's the way it be. And this is why you have right now a bunch of women saying they don't want to get involved with stuff because it's stressful, it's this, that, and the third. But if you can actually meet somebody on a timeline, and y'all can kind of rise together because y'all are on the rise anyway, it works. So be mindful of who is where and what they're going through. Be also mindful of when you're on a dip, and you can feel when you're on a dip. It's the wheel of fortune. Sometimes you up, sometimes you down. It would be like me right now. As I was going through all the stuff that was, I was going through in the divorce. I actively chose not to get involved with anybody for that reason, because as going through whatever it is, it could be on a dip. That would mean that anybody that I would meet that is that could have intersected my timeline, I might have just felt comfortable with these people because of the fact that, again, going through something, and now you need something to do, or now something to take your mind off of it instead of dealing with yourself, and now putting you back, me going back on my, staying on my own journey and dealing with and working through whatever the dip was, the issues, the problems, the circumstances, the tests, whatever it was. This is why even when a lot of dudes were trying to talk to me, I'm like, why are you even trying to talk to me? And mind you, to other people, it sounds like, oh, she thinks she better than somebody. Not that I thought I was better, but definitely better. Because why? And so this is how even a lot of y'all, when you go through situations and circumstances, and it makes you feel like, you're on that dip, whatever the wheel of fortune is. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. You going through whatever you're going through, and then now you connect with somebody who ain't used to nothing. Mind you, you're used to this, that, and a whole lot more. And this is the other part where it's almost kind of bad. You know how the concrete road, girl, matter of fact, I ain't gonna say that. But anyway, when you get it out the mud, when you start down here, right, and you start creating you on that ascent, when people when they start from this level and they can rise, and they know they're open to being able to rise, they don't feel no type of way. Like, of course, new levels, new devils, you go through new stuff, but you actively traverse through whatever it is. Like, you willing to learn some stuff. Even when you get to a level that you've never been on, you're willing to, you willing to listen. You're not the smartest person in the room. It's other people that have been on these other levels, and then they run into you, and you're willing to learn, right? You're open. And so have you ever noticed how people that start up here, they have been gifted everything at birth, this and the third, they're used to just having everything, and then all of a sudden something starts to happen, and they start to take a dip, and instantly they decide to end it all because they don't know how to live on whatever level this is. So it's like, even recently when everybody was going through the coldest moment in life, and all those storms was happening about a month ago, maybe now, and all of a sudden everybody's heat started doing a thing, and they were saying they're gonna shut the heat off here. But mind you, it was so many people that I kept seeing, they said that either their furnace went out, or this went out because it was putting too much pressure on the system, this, that, and the third, or the lights went out, the power went out, and then people acting like they didn't know how to live because the grid went down. And now they saying, can you put a kerosene heater in the house? Kerosene heaters are designed to be in the house. All of a sudden people didn't know how to heat their homes and things of that nature because they, just lived in, I don't know where the hell these people was living at, because the minute everything happened and my furnace went down, I opened up the oven. I got a space heater. And so some people couldn't have space heaters because of the fact they didn't have no power. But meanwhile, you figure out what to do. You go get one of those gas things, and you know, get a gas heater or something. They had tanks and everything. Mind you, some people knew some stuff even better than me, because literally I seen people that had the gas tanks, and I would have been afraid to put a gas tank in my house, right? Like those ones, that the propane tanks, people was putting them on boards and things of that nature, hooking them up to the gas things, and heat, voila. But some people was, but the first thing that a person that knows that is actively, put some clothes on. You start putting layers on. It was amazing to me how many people acted as if they didn't know that you can still survive. Do y'all not realize there's people that sleep outside during those times, intense, and they make it? But mind you, it was people acting as if, thank you, Abby, it was people acting as if they was just not going to survive if in fact the grid went down, because, you know, how do they live? Well, survival. When you need to know how to survive, you start realizing how to survive. So those are the things. It's the frequency even with that. So okay, let me see. How'd that work? Thank you, Abby. Maybe I should. I ain't even gonna mess with it. Yes, I am. I can't help it. Anyway, so shedding old identities, also elevating. It's another thing. Because don't ask me why, but you know how when stuff starts to change, and excuse me, there's people who invest, right? They invest in stocks, bonds, this, that, and the third. And so it's a lot of scamming people running around here, right? And so they figured out how to invest this way or that way, and then instantly they'll try to bring you into their, you know, oh, well, now I know how to invest, and so I'm gonna bring you into this. But then you find out it's like a pyramid scheme or some type of da 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 da. But then there's people who invest, and they invest, right? And so imagine running into the difference between one of them. A person that is been investing, involved in investments their whole entire life, and them being able to make stable, sound investments. And then there's a person who basically, they just learned how to invest. They may have gotten a little bit lucky. They may have scammed a couple dollars, and then all of a sudden now they're trying to teach you how to invest. And it's like a whole thing. If they get you to come in and make money, then they make money. But the people who be investing, they just be investing. So take it how it resonates. Anyway, and it's always a scammer on every level, because I already told y'all the United States government did a whole lot of stuff. So the number 1254 breaks down into 3, just so y'all know, which represents creation, alignment of mind, body, and spirit. It's manifestation, energy, communication. It also aligns with hermetic vibration principles, movement, flow, rhythm. The bigger message here, it feels like you were being shown that it feels like to dissolve into a higher awareness without fear. The wave, surrender, the warmth, safety and expansion, the blue body, transformation into a more spiritual aware self. The wake up, integration. Doesn't feel random. It feels like your subconscious was processing and expanding. It definitely was, because y'all, I don't know how many of y'all actually, lay down and go to sleep to books or any of that, or wake up and listen to books or actively read books, right? But every day I've been noticing, as I have been doing certain things, like when I wake up, it becomes a whole lot different. Don't do that. I don't know why. As soon as somebody starts coming in here, it starts doing a whole different set of things. Anyway, so we're going to go to Google, see what Google say about the dream, if it's the same exact thing. This dream appears to be profound, positive, and deeply symbolic experience, particularly with the Kabbalion, a book on Hermetic philosophy and the laws of the universe, playing in the background. The elements of the dream, a warm wave of space, blue. What was that? Something popped in my mind, but just as fast as it popped in there, I lost it. The elements of the dream, a warm wave of space turning blue and a feeling of warmth, suggest a significant spiritual emotional or personal transformation. It says the warm wave, emotional cleansing and transformation. Water as emotional spirituality. Waves in water often represents your emotional, subconscious, or spiritual state. Warmth and comfort. Unlike a scary tsunami, this wave was warm. This suggests a gentle, loving, and comforting rather than overwhelming emotional event. It suggests a healing process or spiritual spa for the soul, where you are being cleansed and rejuvenated. Space wave, describing the wave as space, indicates a shift in perception, because that's what it seemed like. It seemed like space. Um, a move from the known to the infinite. It suggests a vast cosmic or philosophical change in your understanding, which something is actually happening because, again, if you're not getting the downloads, it's a whole lot of people getting the same downloads on being like uncovering. And so, like I said, I seen another dude this morning. He was literally on live. He has the books and everything. And although I sat here and I just went back and forth and used the internet, he has the actual physical books that is showing the timelines. And he's saying exactly what I said yesterday about how people are gaining limited information and knowledge, and they're using this time in history, like they using Christopher Columbus as a place marker, but he's not the place marker. It goes way, way back further than him, like almost like the land before time. And mind you, they be naming stuff and doing stuff again right in our face. So there is that. So describing the wave of space indicates a shift in perception, a move from the known to the infinite. It suggests a vast cosmic or philosophical change in your understanding. Turning blue, alignment, truth, awakening. The avatar connection, turning blue like an avatar, typically suggests a feeling of being in harmony with nature in a higher form of consciousness. All right, so in the process of that, I'm going to just tell y'all somebody's calling. Like, but mind you, it's telepathic. So I don't know if somebody has a business, right? Because yesterday I was setting up my schedule for I do spiritual coaching. Y'all already know I got certification for it, this and the third. Didn't need a certification, just so you know. But a person that is starting their business, right? So I was upgrading the place for me to be able to open up the schedule to do more sessions, right, with people. And so as I was doing that, it was the transition into the people who are brand new coming into spirituality, and they're saying, should I do a platform and this, then a third? So I'll be helping people actually do that. But then even the people who've had their platform for a long time that, just want to bounce ideas off or talk to somebody also, because the counselor, and I ain't a counselor, but just so you know, the people be needing the people. So it would be like me, booking a session with somebody else that does the same exact thing, and they may have been here for forever and a day, but also us just talking and, talking about the next things that was coming on. So anyway, long story short, it is helping people, figure out their gifts and talents. Also helping people, getting more in touch with their intuition. And as I keep explaining to people, when a lot of us don't really trust our intuition, it's because of the people that are around us. And because the people that are around us, they be envious, they be jealous, they be lying, right? And of course, they're not going to tell you that they're envious, jealous, or lying. They're going to act like, I'm your biggest supporter. Meanwhile, this is the thing. You can feel something in your system and you can say to a person, this is what I got from you. This is what I gather. Now, say it's positive. Of course, they want to accept all of that. But if it's negative and you getting a person really trying to stab you in your back, or a person is trying to be some type of way with you, they're going to lie and say that they're not. They're never going to tell you, yeah, I'm caught and, I'm trying to work through this. I'm trying to figure out why I feel this way about you. I don't know. It just was something that started to come into my system. Maybe I feel some type of way because you're growing in a way that I'm not growing. They're not going to tell you. And so you actively feel it, you actively know, and now it starts to mess with your intuition because your intuition told you to call this person on their stuff. And this person says, no, I love you. No. And it don't have nothing to do with love, because what's love got to do with it? But is that the truth? Do you feel some type of way about me that you're not telling me, because my spirit is telling me you have an issue with me. And so now you're second guessing your intuition because of the fact that your spirit told you that this person got an issue with you. But this person is saying, no, I don't have an issue with you. Their actions, their behavior, and it's little stuff that people do that they think that you're not going, like people be thinking they smarter than the average bear. And so when they come in with the malice and heart, the hate, trying to insert themselves, mind you, I be spotting it all the time because people be doing stuff, right? And literally, then I'll instantly know that the reason why you did that was because you heard me say this, and this is why you try to insert your ass in here. So guess what? I'm going to trust me. I'm not going to listen to what them people are saying because this is what people are. They're never going to say, I secretly got something against you. I don't like how you do something so easily that I want to do. I don't like how you're so confident in something that maybe you don't even think that you're confident in. You just do the job because you are the person that was called to do the job. I don't like how fearless you are because you will do this, and this, and I barely can get off the couch. They won't tell you that. And so when I'm having, sessions with people and I'm talking to people about stuff like that, it is now a couple of days later, like first they'll take it and they'll say, maybe. And then later on they'll start to digest it and then they'll start to see it, because instantly once I start making note of it and I start pointing it out to you, you see when a person did this? This was them interfering and tapping and like messing with your intuition. It is like how they say like women have a sixth sense. Like, you know when your nigga cheating, right? Because you can smell this hoe on this nigga, right? Meanwhile, the nigga saying, ain't nothing happening. You done picked up somebody in your energy because their energy is your energy. Mind you, this is how, like, people don't know how serious this literally is. I keep telling y'all, like, my neighbor lived right next door, right? And, I be talking to him and his daughter, this, then, a third. Mind you, I done synced up in energy with him, his daughter will wear the same exact thing, this, that, and the third. Like, literally, right? Even when I did something to my hair, I noticed that something happened, something changed. So the minute I did it and I just showed up and I'm thinking, everything was good. No, it was a change, a shift in the energy. Also, when other people start to come around and they start to put energy in his energy, mind you, I'm not even with this man. It's just that we live so close. We eat together. It's been a couple of things. And instantly, I can feel certain things. And he does it with me. It is the strangest thing. Hey, Papa Daddy. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm over here, even for my birthday, I'm saying I wanted to make sure that I had some apple cider, right? Because I ain't drinking, so I wanted to have, thank you, Joe. I wanted to have the apple cider because I wanted that for my birthday, right? So I fooled around and I forgot. I done went to the store, I done forgot the cups and, because I was rushing. The lady was trying to do whatever she was doing. Anyway, long story short, why he had it in his fridge and brought it over here. And I literally called my son and I'm like, yo, you got to see this but mind you, that's not the only thing that we have ever done. I ain't never did nothing with this man at all, period, other than our energy. He lived next door. So just imagine somebody that you sleeping with. Like, thank you, Joe. People have to understand your energy is bigger than even what you probably know. I even told y'all about instances when I was doing Uber and things of that nature. It's like, as stuff started to happen, like, I can smell them. It is the weirdest thing. Thank you, Joe. So, Kabbalion and why. So, mental influence. Listening to the Kabbalion likely directed your subconscious to explore the themes of the book, such as All Is Mine or the Law of Vibration while you slept. The experience. The dream feels like a practical personal experience of those principles, particularly. Thank you. Particularly the concept of your conscious is expansive, the space that you can intentionally change your state of being, turning blue. Mind you, turning into a different being. Because I told y'all on the other thing, there's something that's happening, but mind you, it has something to do with the peacekeepers. The peacekeepers are women who have been here the land before time, right? And so it's a real thing. I was looking them up yesterday. It's right here. Let me see. Do I still have it pulled up here? I might have pulled it down. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, they were on this land before the Christopher Columbus and the colonizers came, right? But mind you, the peacekeepers have been now pushed to upstate New York, Canada, Quebec, right? Mind you, not really too many of them. So what the peacekeepers actually did was because the shaman were in charge on the reservations and on the land, and so they were normally men, but the peacekeepers were the women. So if one of the shamans or somebody started acting up, they would get them going because you have to be accountable. So where are the peacekeepers? Where are the timekeepers? Because at one point in time, all of these people existed. But mind you, they have had to go into hiding because of the fact that y'all government, the people that y'all let keep coming over here, or the people that y'all let advance and steal and take, and then y'all want to keep acting like y'all want to be told what to do, have lied, cheated, stolen, and pillaged the land. All right, I can't find the peacekeepers on here yet. So, but I told y'all I sent another message from yesterday. So if you want to hear about it, go look it up from yesterday, and you'll be able to find them because it is there. All right, now see, where was I at? Did I just close out my screen? I may have just closed out my screen. Let's hope I didn't. I need to close out some of these screens anyway because there's too much shit up here. Anyway, so we right here. Dun, 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 dun. Listen to the Kabbalah land. Already said that the dream feels like a practical personal experience of those or for those principles, particularly the concept that your consciousness expansive like space and that you can intentionally change your state of being. So yesterday I happened to be scrolling and Drika Gates came across my screen, right? And love her for all intents purposes, right? And so the thing that she was talking about, she was describing a experience, a food experience. So she was telling you go into the kitchen and grab you a fruit and cut the fruit open and taste it, feel, the she was basically giving you an image, right? And then what she said was, did your mouth water? So people really understanding how your mind is more expansive, bigger. Like a person can describe something to you and you can feel it. So just imagine, and this is where, a lot of people talk about AI and this, that, and the third, and it being good or bad or whatever, right? So I don't teach tarot. The link is in the bio, right? So when I did this in 2024, even then, I'm not really as proficient. I'm 50, just so y'all know. Don't matter, but the fact of the matter is when you don't do something for a long period of time, you may lose a skill, right? And so I can write, I can spell, and all of that, but my pronunciation or my what do you call that when you put your commas and things of that nature is not really that great. It got better as I started using AI because what I ended up having to do was do what I was going to do, look up the stuff, get AI to basically make sure that I'm, telling y'all the truth and this, that, and the third. Oh, Papa Daddy said, what about the lemon? She was telling you to eat the lemon, the juice. Can you feel the juice and all this stuff running down your lips and this, that, and it was basically eating a lemon, but she was describing it to the T. So in the process, if you listened and you allowed your mind to, take you on the journey that she was taking you through, your senses, your body actually responded to what she was saying. And she's not wrong. It's actually a real thing. It is like when you feel something in your body, somebody says something to you, and then all of a sudden you start to feel your mind is the thing that's doing that. So the lemon itself wasn't important. It was the journey that she was taking you through to eating the lemon and your brain connecting with it and now creating a sensation in your body that she described. You didn't have the lemon. And mind you, it's like with any food, somebody taking you through a journey and being able to, but this is also part of what I was going to tell you. So, the fact that I'm a human being and I can actually articulate, properly, right? And so this is the thing, being able to describe. So the way she described it made you feel something in your body. People, an actual writer, because there's an issue with the people that are writers, they don't like AI because AI create a spark of a lot of people being able to, create books and things of that nature, and the AI just would write it. But the AI don't have any feelings. So as the AI is writing books, it's not giving you, it's kind of leaving you open to be, not have the imaginary imagery, spark that a human being could potentially give you, because a human being has tasted a lemon. It's bitter, it's sour, it could be, sweet, whatever the actual feeling. AI can't do that. And so even in, but AI can do pronunciation. They can do the periods right. They can do spelling and grammar properly. You see what I'm saying? So without the other part, it kind of leaves you disconnected. But if you actually have the human experience, like here on Earth School, we're having the experience. It's like somebody telling you, don't go do this. Mind you, and I told y'all, I'm one of these people too, because sometimes we need to touch the stove. I need to know what that feels like, right? I need to know what that tastes like. Somebody can say, don't eat something or don't touch something. Meanwhile, it looked juicy. It looked delicious. It looked tasty. Man or woman, you know what I'm saying? Take it how it resonates. You could be talking about food, but you could be talking about the eye candy. Like, they just look like it's going to be a good time. And so, although somebody would say, don't go deal with this person, but why would you tell me that? They look like they about to be a good time. Like, everything about them says, I'm intrigued now. And so even if you see whatever the people that said, because other people that have dealt with a person, they'll say they're a bad energy. But mind you, they could have just been a bad energy for you. I need to experience the energy, and then later on you find out they wasn't lying. Like, they was really, messed up in the experience. But the human mind giving you that actual physical, whatever the sensations that come with or behind this situation or this scenario or this food or this moment in time is necessary and needed. This is also the reason why I keep trying to say or explain why some people don't want to deal with certain people, because we know it's already going to be a problem. Like, you don't have to tell me. I just experienced, it's funny because the other day, I happened to be talking to one of my children's fathers, right? The two of them. And I said, I'm never talking to this person ever again. Mind you, I still ain't never talking to this nigga ever again. But the thing is I had to speak to this person because I'm doing DNA and lineage for my children, and I want to make sure that they have the right thing. So I had to, call their father and tell their father that this is what I need from you, right? And mind you, he says, I sent you a message the other day. And I didn't get it because, nigga, you've been on block, right? So, there's that. But anyway, long story short, he ended up started talking about, these people. Some lady calling him out of the blue. And I told him, I said, you have to be careful because this moment in time, I didn't just, said it on the channel, that there's old stuff coming back in. People trying to get connected to you because, remember, I talked about the timelines. Like, all of this stuff goes hand in hand. So I know it's like all over the place, but it's really not. It all is tied hand in hand. So people want to come in because you could be ascending, like we're talking about in the dream. You could be ascending and growing in ways, but then somebody else wants to, maybe they want that. Maybe they, want to reconnect. Maybe they want to, grow as you're growing. Maybe, they could despise you, don't care about you, and they want to take your ass down. Either way, the point of it is as the Wheel of Fortune is turning. Remember, it's karmic energy. And I keep explaining to people, even with this, because karmic energy sounds bad, but karmic energy is also meant, it's one of those things to give you lessons, to teach you, right? So we have all been a karmic to somebody, or they have been a karmic. They have been a karmic. You have also been a karmic, because depending upon who you are, who we talking to, remember, this is a collective message. So your mama done been a karmic to somebody, a person that came in to teach a lesson. Now, somebody will say, that's a horrible person. No, it depends upon how it actually played out. Some of these people could be horrible people, but some of these people could be somebody that was minding their own business, and then here you come, all unprovoked, thinking that you gonna come over here and start scamming and doing stuff, and then I be the karmic to you because I'm gonna teach you a lesson. And God used me as the energy to teach you a lesson. And then this person will go and they'll say, this is such a horrible person. Meanwhile, they won't tell the person that you came in to kill, steal, and destroy. Your intentions were negative from the beginning, and God used me to slam your head in the dirt. However it was, because you didn't get whatever it was you was going to get. And that's the thing. It could not even be a physical me doing anything to the person. They're going to be mad because they didn't get whatever it was that they thought they should get out of this situation. And then you become a bad person. Now you're the villain in the story. But meanwhile, this is a liar and a scammer. But because they couldn't lie and scam to you, now you're a karmic because you taught them a lesson. Mind you, they're going to be saying, calling you every name in the book, because people be mad when they don't get to do to you what they wanted to do to you, even if they had nefarious intentions. Now you're the problem, because why didn't you let me scam you? Why didn't you let me, take you down? Why didn't you let me do whatever it was that I was intending on doing? But meanwhile, or you could just be a nasty person, and this person could be a nasty person, and y'all could just be nasty people together. And then y'all, and I don't mean to say this during this part, but because it don't got nothing to do with nasty people. This has to do with somebody that I literally said, this man was getting on my nerves, right? And I'm gonna tell y'all who it is. This man, every time I seen him, was just disturbing the peace. Every time you scroll through, this man was yelling at the screen, right? And I came to y'all and I said, this man is getting on my nerves, because why every time I see this man, he's yelling at the screen. I ain't did nothing to this man, but his energy just, you can feel it through the screen, right? Finesse 2 times. Yo. And then for some reason, I don't know why my screen kept coming to this man, because I don't know who this man is, but literally, then the past couple weeks, it would just show stuff. And I'm sitting here listening to him, and I'm laughing because from the beginning, my whole impression of him is he's annoying the hell out of me. Then something happened. His girlfriend got locked up, right? And then he started streaming a little bit more. Instead of yelling at people, he started actively doing streaming, right? So then I'm listening to him and I'm like, this man makes so much sense, right? In the process. So this is one of those things. If you watch it long enough, maybe it could be, if you watch it long enough, you just start to get a better impression of the thing, right? And listening to him, I actually started liking the person. I'm like, oh my God, he actually makes sense. But listen, the thing that made me like him the most, right? This just happened. His girlfriend, her name Suge, she just got out of jail, right? And I'm watching this man stream. Y'all, I love these people together. And the reason why I'm saying this is because you can tell when a person really loves a person. This man was distraught, apparently, because I must have caught him in the middle of when, something happened, she was gone, and some other stuff, I don't know. And so he gave me just the craziest impression. But as you watch the person, as you watch the scenario play itself out, y'all, he is funny. But mind you, the fact that she is home, like, I love how she looks at him. I love how he looks at her. And I don't know their story before this or that, before anything else. But there was an incident, because I seen that, he put his paws on her. He shouldn't do that. And they could be crazy together. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is there's a moment in time that got captured on camera that is love. Abby, you know who it was instantly? Yes, that man was getting on my nerves. Like, every time I seen him, it was yelling at the screen, yelling at the camera, just literally going off on people that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But I guess people be heartbroken. Maybe he was heartbroken because she was like that. But like I said, I don't know. All I know is their last interactions that I just seen from them has been beautiful. Like, that is love. It may be toxic ghetto love. I don't know, because again, I don't know them, but just seeing how he was looking at her when she got out and she was looking at him, I like them. So yeah, he that's one of them things. You hear it long enough and you play it long enough, now all of a sudden I still ain't gonna watch the stream, so I'm just gonna see it when it go by. It ain't enough to make me tune in, but it's enough to make me say like, oh, that was just so cute. But again, it's love, but it could be whatever love you see. But I think they're just so cute together, and I love the fact that she makes him soft. Like, this nigga be cussing and everything else, but you can tell the way he love her. It's one of those things like, remember I said American Gangster, when the man be, because he said she calls him Muffin. This is what had me cracking up. She calls him Muffin. He said he don't like that she called him Muffin. I need to turn that light off, but that light is hot. It's a grow light. She calls him Muffin. He said, I don't like her calling me Muffin because I ain't no soft ass nigga, right? So then when she got out, I guess he's telling her, I need you to pick a different name for me. She's saying no. He's saying, call me this, but she still called him Muffin. So now what's funny to me is the chat is now calling him Muffin. And he get mad and start cussing him out. But you can tell, like, he is a muffin for her. He melts for her. I love that for him, and I love that for her, because that man was sick. Like, he was yelling at everybody else because she was locked up. So, I get it. Don't traumatize me in the process, but, either way, it's that. So take it how it resonates. Lula's, hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. She said 11 likes, 11 people watching, and period. I love that. 11. All right, so waking up abruptly after such a vivid, positive, and transformative dream, suggests that the experience was important, that you should take note of it. It may represent a new beginning or a realization of a new world in your life. I love that, because, all of these things are actually true, because, kind of looking into stuff. So I know my dream ain't got nothing to do with y'all, but, maybe it did. Anyway, I think my screen finally acting like it got some sense, so I guess we can go over here now. So, collective message for today. Today's energy feels like a reset mixed with revelation. Not chaotic, not heavy, but awakening. The kind of day where you start noticing what you've been tolerating. Are y'all noticing what y'all tolerating, or who the people who are trying to tolerate y'all? If not, start paying attention, okay? The kind of day where your spirit whispers, you deserve better than this, because we all deserve better than this. People, places, and things who try to minimize us. People who try to tell us that, what we're feeling or what we know is not exactly what it is, because for some reason they deem to think that they know your journey better than you do. Why? It is so crazy how people can remember things that they remember. But literally, matter of fact, I was just talking to my aunt the other day, and she was telling me that something that she heard in the family wasn't something that she heard. Meanwhile, I done heard that before. And so the thing is, why she, heard whatever she didn't know or did know on that pathway is whatever she did or did not know. But mind you, I'm younger than her, and it don't matter about that. It's just the fact of the matter that I've already heard that before. And so whatever journey or pathway, and my family's a little weird because these people don't get along for shit. These people are a different breed of, like, when you see families that actually get along and they're going to, doing adventures together, traveling together, this and a third, they used to be like that. And that's one of the things that I remember from them. And then it started to be this thing where now, they don't get along. The sisters don't, like, it's weird. And certain people talk to certain people, and then if you talk to this person mad at you, and then if you happen to mention something, it's almost like they think you talking about somebody, but meanwhile you come from the same family. So it's weird, and I don't like that. So that's one of the things that kind of gets on my nerves, because when you want a family that actually got along, we used to be able to do fun stuff together. And then, and people are getting older, things are being more, whatever it is. But either way, I don't like that version. Trying to keep the rose colored glasses on us. And that's the thing. So, again, she said it, the first time she heard it was when my uncle said something, but it wasn't the first time I heard it. Mind you, I've been saying that for years. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm just saying it now. No, I've been saying that. And so I don't even know why it wouldn't have been a thing where I would have said that to her in the process of escaping that kind of environment now. And these are the things. This is what I'm saying. So it's like the kids, me knowing a different version of my parents than my brother knowing. My brother is I think 4 years younger than me, right? I don't know why my nose want to be running. 4 years younger than me. But I had a different set of parents than he had. He had a different set of parents than I had. So it's like you have different versions or different relationships with even people in the family, but then for some reason the toxicity of it all is when people think that this person, this set can control this thing and this set can control this thing, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be whatever this person's story or journey is this person's story or journey. You may not know everything that happened to this person or this story. You may, and so for a person to assume or think that they do, that don't make no sense to me. And so, not saying that anybody's doing that. It's just saying that this is how sometimes people will think that they are the end all, the all end all to this. But mind you, everybody should have, access. And so when I was talking to my aunt the other day, she said that's how, like, the older people, and it should have carried down, because she said that my grandmother's family, they had like access to knowing when like people deceased, their birth records, this, that, and third. But for some reason with certain people, it's almost like if you have access to a birth record or this, that, and a third, it makes you feel powerful because of the fact. But that's not something that's something that anybody can get. Anybody that's connected to the family can get it. Why would they not want a person to have it? Because again, it's been so much conniving stuff, or people think that you can't do nothing with those records that you shouldn't be allowed to do. It's illegal. There's still things that cannot be done. But the fact of the matter is it should be normal in families for people to pass down. This is your family history. This is your family lineage. Not one set of people having it, and then it has to be hard for somebody else to go look for it, somebody else to find it. That don't make sense. Mind you, like I said, even in the fact that people having paperwork, that don't matter either. Because once that spitting in a cup, once that DNA records start to show, mama's baby, papa's maybe. You may think you have the same brother and sister, but guess what? You could potentially find out that you don't. Because if your DNA records start matching a whole nother person, and let's not act like these people are not people. They're people. The same way you grew up and you was out here thotting and bopping and you wanted to have fun and you like little Joe Blow down the street. Don't I think that your great-great-great-grandparents didn't have a life too. And mind you, the honorable thing that a lot of these men did was still took care of a kid even when they thought it wasn't theirs. So somebody may have signed a birth certificate or put their name somewhere that don't make it absolute that that is the baby pappy. Mama's baby, papa's maybe is a thing for a reason. So we're not going to act like we don't know that. We have to be real responsible in our thought processes because, we trying to get down to the truth. And whether or not it happened or it didn't, we're not judging. All we trying to do is get to the, what we need in order to make it right. Like, I don't care that you was out popping it for a real nigga. Like, who cares? I don't care that you may have had a whirlwind one night stand with a nigga. That's not my concern. But these are the things that people keep trying to hide. Like, I done said it multiple times. I had a good time in life. Sometimes so much that I don't remember. Either way, whether or not it's true or not, the fact of the matter is it happened. I'm not going to sit up here and act like, to my kids, I didn't have a life. They out here having lives. So stuff happens. And so it's when you're trying to cover up and hide something that could be pertinent information to the detriment of, a person's future, there's an issue with that. And that's a you problem and not a us problem. That's a whatever that is. And like, my mom and my aunt both agreed on the same exact thing. During their time, it was what happens in a house stays in a house. And a lot of people know that. What happens in a house stays in a house. Also, kids are not to be in grown people's business. That's real. But now in the grown people's business, the past, the future, the past, great. Now that business is actually rolling over into the younger people's business because guess what? Now here we are at this moment in time, and now it's important for us to figure out who's who, what's what, and what happened. But mind you, now we got to go digging through all types of archives and this, that, and the third, when you could have just told us that you was out here popping it, on a headstand. Or you might have been out here selling something, acting a little strange for a little piece of change, and now you don't know who the baby daddy is. Things be happening. I ain't judging. Thank you for allowing me to be here. Thank you for the good genetics. Please and thank you, because, Anyway, today's energy feels like a reset mixed with revelation. Today's energy carries the energy of realignment. You're outgrowing old habits, mindsets, even certain people. It's okay. Y'all may not be going in the same direction. It's okay. Your direction may be going this way. Their direction may be going this way. I still got love for you. I'm not mad at you. Any of that. But mind you, people be holding animosity. They don't like you growing in different ways. That's a you problem. That's not a me problem. Mind you, you don't even know. Like, I could be going through the worst time of my life, and here you are trying to make it a you, like, and make it about you, when all I'm out here doing is trying to figure out my life. I'm out here fighting for my life, trying to get it back on track, and you trying to make my whatever is happening with me a you problem. It's not your business. Has nothing to do with you. My journey, my pathway. I have to figure it out. You can't help that. So it has to be done the way that, I deem it to be done, the way God is telling me. And whether or not you like it or not, guess what? It's still my journey. Has nothing to do with you. Hold on, Lulu. I'm coming that way right here, right now. So sometimes we have to just realize we're outgrowing people, places, and things, and that's okay. It don't mean that, anything's wrong, other than the fact that I'm growing in a way that you may not understand. Don't have nothing to do with you. What in the heck is happening over here? Y'all, like, these screens is all jumbled up. All types of stuff is happening. Like, this shouldn't even be. Stuff don't even work like this. But here we are working like this. Alright, so Lulu. Lulu said that's her situation right now. Wow. Lulu, the other thing is, a lot of us are running, simultaneously. Like, we doing our own journey, but we have similar experiences. My mom cheated on her husband. She had 2 kids for him at the time I was conceived with another man who is my father. Found him when I was 23. I was the darkest child. I went through a lot of trauma. Exactly how I felt, how I feel. I went my own way after my mom passed. She had me thinking their dad was mine until I turned 13. Sometimes that's the best way for it to be, too, because that's another thing. Like, sometimes we don't know that they're protecting us. You know what I'm saying? So I done told y'all a story where I had an incident, and now I'm gonna have to go find this nigga too. But there was a person that I got intertwined with, along my timeline or my journey that I should have probably never got intertwined with, or whatever. But anyway, long story short, something happened. He did something he wasn't supposed to do. But mind you, he felt like he had the rights to do whatever. Long story short, I got a baby. But guess what? I love my baby, and on top of that, he was the thing that changed me. So it wouldn't change a thing, even though something traumatic happened to me. But I had to make sure that my child stayed away from that nigga, because that nigga wasn't no good. So I did everything that I could to make sure that my child did not, have any type of intertwining engagement with that person. Later on, guess what? Long story short, when my son became an adult, same nigga, same bad behavior. Found, mind you, was tracking us the whole time. I never even knew that this nigga was on my social media. Literally never let it go. Probably listening to me right to this day. And if you're listening, nigga, we'll be searching for your ass soon, because I need that DNA record too. And, regardless of the fact, play with your mammy. But anyway, I need his DNA records too, because I plan on trying to make sure that my kids get left, all of them, files, documents of knowing who's who, this, that, and the third. And they have to now go and do their own, spitting in a cup. Although this nigga, DNA tested my son, because like I was going to tell y'all, he ended up finding my son later on. And so then I ain't have nothing to do with it, because now my son is an adult. My son took a DNA for him, and apparently my son said he saw it. It came back. It belonged to him. Either way, long story short, my son is a grown man at this point. I still wouldn't trust him with a 10-foot pole, and I still will never allow him access to me. But I do need, those records, because at this point, he out here burning up bitches' cars and all types of other stuff that apparently he was doing. And I'm not going to play with nobody like that because of the fact that I already got stalkers. And so, I need the records, and that's it. That's all. And with that being said, he got 1 to 2 conversations with me. And if he don't talk right then, he gonna go back on the same list. Well, he gonna go back on the list anyway. But he gonna go back to that list, and he can figure out, get somebody else to do it. And all I gotta do is then get my son to spit in the cup whenever he feel like doing it. And then once his DNA starts, going to whoever back and forth, it's a couple of things that we would have to actually do, in the process. But if he act right, then, we can kind of share the process, but not too close, because I don't want to intertwine no energy or anything with this nigga either. But at this point, because I feel like it's important that if I leave this earth, I don't want my kids having to search or having to go through nothing. I feel like I'm the responsible adult. I'm going to go ahead and get it done for them. And so whatever they do with that information after that is what they do with it after that. And, that's for them to deal with. But I'm going to do my due diligence. I'm not going to let them lead them out here the way people have left us, and thinking that, we didn't have a leg to stand on when we do. I took my DNA at the Sally Jesse show, so there's proof he's my dad. Well, dang, you went there? How did that work out? All right, so we're going back over here. We got emotional honesty, because, again, we all make mistakes. All of us, we are perfectly imperfect. This is Earth School. And on Earth School, we do stuff, right? So we're not going to act like we all have not done nothing wrong. Now, we may not do some of the stuff that these people be doing wrong, but either way, wrong is wrong and right is right, okay? Take it how it resonates. Self-respect activation. Boundaries feel necessary, not mean. Like, I'm not letting these, it worked out great. That's good. I mean, at least you found out information, and that's what's important, right? Getting the information down to the nitty gritty, to the truth. All right. So we got boundaries feel necessary, not mean. Like, I have to protect my energy, just like I said about this person. This nigga ain't a good person. I picked up he wasn't a good person back then. I mean, I should have picked it up a whole lot sooner before, some other stuff happened. But either way, he still grew up to be a bum. A rich bum, but a bum nonetheless, okay? Because people be thinking that just because you got money and you got businesses and this, that, and the third, people be thinking that they are, high caliber, this, and the third. No, he's still a bum, because his behavior still exactly the same way. Nigga got a wife, but meanwhile over here stalking other bitches, okay? So, still a bum. And I'm not going to give that energy access to, find their way in to do anything, just because now is a moment that, some truth and honesty is required. Because even to this day, he still won't admit what he did to me in order for that to happen. He basically trying to act like, or he moved it from his memory. I'll never forget it. He's better than the father I thought mine was. I have no regrets. And period. And see, this is the other thing. Sometimes we have to do what we have to do as parents, and sometimes we have to make decisions. Now, could I have been right or wrong in that decision? Because, depending upon him, he may think that I was wrong in that, and he may have turned out to be the best daddy ever if, in fact, I had gave him opportunity. Me, I feel like you was going to teach my son to be hitting on women and, doing a bunch of other stuff. And my son didn't need to learn that. But, que sera, sera, what shall be, shall be. Everybody is now, grown, and here we are. But at the time when it happened, I was going to go to my death with that, because of the fact that I was never going to give him access. I still don't want to give him access. Even to this day, even when he got access, I still didn't want to give him access, because he's not a good person. So divine timing, things that felt delayed are actually being positioned. Mind you, I mean, I don't even want to say a good person like that. What I want to say is he's not emotionally stable. He's not emotionally responsible. So in his mind, he's allowed to do what he wants to do. This is the reason why bitches' cars and stuff gets caught on fire. So if he went through some counseling, he got himself together, and he became emotionally responsible, it would be different. So, not saying that he's just a bad person. There's a reason why. There's things that say you're not taking the opportunity to. Not one time did he do that. And then, quite frankly, to me, I feel like he was one of them people that put a person on drugs. And so maybe she did it herself, but from the sounds of the story as to what was delivered to me, it sounded like he did that New Jack City thing. And because I can't have you, and because you want to go off and do what you want to do, I'm going to make it so that you now have a disability in this situation. And he kept doing things and doing things and doing things. And in my mind, I don't know, understand the reason why she didn't put him down like the dog that he is. But, you know, people do what they want. Because if it's me or you, between me being a crackhead and you being, you know, not here, I would have chose the latter. Bitch, bye. So there's that. Divine timing. Things that felt delayed are actually being positioned. So you may think that we should be, you know, further along in our process. There's stuff that, you know, even me sitting here, I feel like, you know, I should be able to do this, that, and third. But guess what? It is what it is. And so I have to know that where I am is where I am, and whatever happens is whatever happens, and whatever happens will show me what I got to do next. And so we just have to figure it out as we go along, because, you know, God moves at God's time, or, you know, maybe it's even moving people around, moving the chess pieces around, moving the checker pieces around, whatever y'all want to play around here, moving the, what's that little game? Lollipop, that, whatever the pieces are where you just hop. You push the button and people move around. It was Candyland for one. And then the other one is, what's the one that you push with the button? And then you move it around. That. Whatever that is. As you know, the pieces have to move the way they have to move. And so sometimes when you're being impatient, you don't know that God is working out something else on this side to move this out of your way to put you in position, and even in a better position. Because I done told y'all that story too. How one thing happened and it moved from this position into a different position. So, you know, we got to do what we got to do. For anybody that is doing business in this, and the third, for some reason, it's being a reminder for me. Y'all do a link tree. And if you don't have one, do one. Okay. So that puts all of your stuff, it's like getting organized. So maybe that's maybe one of the things too, being organized. But also, as I'm telling y'all about documentation, DNA, and all this other stuff, it's basically being organized. So a lot of times our stuff be all over the place, like where's this, where's that, da 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 da. Even in this room right here right now, I need to clean it up because it's not organized. It looks a damn sight. And I came in here this morning, I said this place looks crazy. But either way, here we are. You know, I got a beautiful background, but technically it's some shit right here that, you know, table full of stuff that need to be organized. This right here is organized, but it still shouldn't be there. You know what I'm saying? Either way, get it together. All right. And it's growth, period. So this is the kind of day where you see someone's true colors. Yo, we see people's true colors every day, but you know what we don't want to do? We act like we don't want to see it. When people start treating you some type of way, or people are behaving some type of way, we see it every day. It's even in the way they talk to you. And we'll say, no, this person wouldn't do us like that. Talk to God about it, because yes, they would. Okay. You feel tired of shrinking yourself. You have to be small in order to allow somebody else to play a bigger version. Hey, Paul, welcome. Thank you for being here. Beautiful blessings always, family. Thanks again. Peace, amazing grace. Amen. Thank you. Don't shrink yourself for somebody else. It's not their job. It's not their opportunity. It's not their space. And God may be calling you to do something that somebody else may have already should have done, or, you know, if they could have done it, they would have done it. But meanwhile, now that you're doing it, now they want to do it. Now they think that because, you know, whoever they are, that they should be the ones doing it. But meanwhile, God ain't called them to do it, because if God called them to do it, they would have did it before you started doing it. Why they wait until now you doing it in order to do it? Because they want to assume the position. And then we have to talk about destiny swapping. And remember, I told you timeline intercepting. People will try to put themselves in your position, in your place. Because guess what? Suppose God called you to do something, right? And you may not, be able to do it because you can't afford to do it in this way, right? But mind you, what you don't know is that God is going to give you everything that you need to do it, because if you got called to do it, then God's going to deliver, right? But then somebody else sees that this is what you're doing, or they hear that this is what you're doing, but because they have more money than you, or they have the available funds at the time, then all of a sudden they start doing it. But guess what? It wasn't meant for them to do. So they will encounter whatever delays and whatever it is that they're going to encounter, because they're going to think that they're going to just slide into it on easy because, oh, I can do this because I already da-da-da-da. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. And just like sometimes a person will do that and God uses them because, they'll start doing whatever they're doing. And because they're doing whatever they're doing, they not realizing that you're already in the steps. And because now they do it, it now connects certain other things that actually help you and open it up anyway. Let me turn this light off. This light is like hot as I don't know what. This is a grow light, but it helps me grow. But it's just bright as all get out, and it's just like, it's already hot in this piece as it is, but now it got darker. Can y'all see me? Is it okay? All right. Anyway, so stop shrinking yourself for other people, because little do y'all know, when people start trying to put themselves in places, God already got a plan for that too, and it ends up working out for your benefit. So let them do what they will, okay? You ain't got nothing to say about it, nothing to do about it. Just keep doing your journey the way God telling you to do your journey, okay? You decided to stop over explaining yourself, because what you need to explain to them for? Abby said, yes, I can see you. Thank you, Abby. Because that light was bright. Like, I was already sweaty over here. It's causing me to sweat a whole lot more. That light hot. And mind you, it's one of them little ring lights, but that thing is hot. And I'm already hot. I told y'all, I've been like, the past couple of days, I've been like running very, very, no, it's been a little bit, but yeah, it's been hot. And it's hot in Georgia. Like, y'all people, it's snowing in places. I got tulips growing outside. Like, yo, it's crazy. So you want peace more than attention. But some people want the attention and they don't realize, like, you can have that. That's not what I asked for. It's almost like people saying they want to be rich and famous. I just want to be able to take care of myself. It wasn't ever about, me having to be in the limelight for anything. So I wasn't asking to be, anything other than, can I take care of myself? Yep, it's been in the 70s here too. Yeah, my kid's father, when I talked to him, he said he was outside shoveling snow, and then my aunt said it was snowing yesterday up in Delaware. So, like, and it's hot here. Even this morning, it's still hot, but it was like kind of rainy and foggy outside. And y'all know I be trying to stay out of them people fog, because they fog ain't no good. Hey Chico, love you. Thank you for being here. Oh, you helped me yesterday too, because when you was asking me where to find that book, and I'm saying link is in the bio, the link was not in the bio. Somehow my bio links keep being taken out. But anyway, it made me go upgrade the link. That's why I started sending you the stuff. So you actually helped me out by going to check. And now the link is in the bio. It's just in the link tree. But as soon as you click the link tree, it'll be the first thing that pops up. But mind you, the link tree got all of my links in it now. So that was actually helpful. Excuse me. That was actually helpful. Let me grab some tissue real quick. That was actually helpful. So thank you for that. All right. So, you crave authenticity over approval. I went and saw all your books. I'm gonna buy 2 that I saw. I hope you've seen the affirmations for men. That one was in there, and the sacred journey. I like that one too. Actually, I like them all, but those are the affirmations for men. I was actually kind of proud of that one, and the sacred journey, which I need to get the sacred journey myself, because technically I want to go over that one with y'all. But each one of them have journal areas in there for you. Yeah, that's one of the ones. Yeah. So and I like the fact that the design was the shaman. So I liked it, that one. The Shaolin, I think it was. Anyway, but they all should have journals areas in them for you to be able to kind of write, and I think that's how I did them. But I'm gonna do some more journals and stuff. I'm gonna actually kind of sit down and do some more books and things of that nature. But I gotta figure out what I want to do, because one, I want to do a story. I need to finish one story, which I need to find out where I did the notes at. One of the stories that I did, it was the Adam and Eve story, but it was the greatest lie that the devil ever told. And it was more or less about them keeping them together. So I got to find out where the notes, because I start writing stuff, right, and then it'd be somewhere in a notebook. So it's like when I'm meant to see it is when I'm meant to see it. So hopefully I can find that one, because I had started writing that, and the way it was coming together was actually really cute. So hopefully I can find that. And then I want to do a children's book. I gotta figure out what to do, because technically I'm gonna have to use and I don't want nobody to get mad at me, but they don't like when you do like the AI pictures and this, that, and the third. But I'm gonna have to use AI because of the fact that I don't have an artist or anything. And then on top of that, I got Canva and all that other stuff, so it would be easier for me to do it that way. And I get that people want you to pay for an artistry or somebody to do it, but I mean, I got to do it the best way I know how. So I want to do a children's book, but I also want to do divine feminine, divine masculine journey book. So that's one of the other things. And I don't care about nobody knowing, because 9 million people can do it, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be the same as when I do it. So I know people be like, well, you shouldn't tell people. I don't care, because guess what? What's meant for you is what's meant for you, and what's meant for me is what's meant for me. And some of these books or some of these stories have been written 9,000 times, but nobody's going to do it the way I'm going to do it. So there's that. But I got a couple different ones that I want to do. So and when I'm going to do it, I don't know. But right now, I got to finish Earth School. And Earth School is a series. And if you haven't seen Earth School, then the first 4 chapters are already up on Kindle. So you can actually read them. And it's not that long, much of a read. But I wanted to actually come here and do, because I got the PDF, the actual notes and stuff on my computer. So I can read it from here. But I can't read it from Kindle because I don't got Kindle. But it is on Kindle. So if you have Kindle, you can read it there. But anyway, yeah, and I don't know. I just want to start doing some stuff. So I got to start jotting some stuff down. And then, like I said, I always have to run my stuff through the AI, because I can't. Spelling and grammar is a thing for me. And I'm learning. I'm getting better as, AI is helping me. And that's why I said people have to realize, like, for everything good that it is, it's also bad. But also for everything bad that it is, it's also good. It's all in how you use it. What are your intentions behind it? So hopefully one day I'll become the best author y'all ever seen in y'all life. Or the best something. I don't know. However, but that's growth. So you crave authenticity over approval, and that's growth. Hopefully I hurry up and start doing this so I can, make enough money to pay my bills. So there's that. Anyway, the collective message from here is very relatable. Should be to everybody, because of the fact that the journey is yours. It's mine. It's theirs. And sometimes, like I said, we are doing the exact same thing, and we are giving each other energy and everything else, which is great. But just because somebody, takes a couple steps up here or down here, or we listen and we don't judge. And if we can help a person, that is coming, and they can kind of, still pull your own weight, but we can still help you get here, then we'll do that as well. But you have to complete your journey for yourself. Nobody else can do it, okay? So this is the thing. A lot of times people come into our energy, and I told y'all before, we already talked about this, like the morning time. When you wake up, you getting connected with God, you talking, your ancestors, whatever you're going to do, right? Praying, doing whatever that is that you're doing. And so when we first wake up, connecting to our bodies and ourselves, oh, I'm here, I woke up, I'm happy, balance, basically blessings, amen, lovely sister, peace, amen, love you. And so connecting to myself, like, how do I feel, right? But this is the thing, all of a sudden somebody will call, right? Or somebody will text you, and you feeling like you having to respond right away. But mind you, you haven't even checked in with yourself, right? So if you go to grab the phone and or grab the, start the one to text back, you have now let another person hijack your day in a way that could be good, bad, or, maybe nothing in the process. But is it your thoughts or is it theirs? And then overthinking the text messages that you ain't got or that you gotta send. So if a person don't text or don't call, you're thinking about that, overthinking that, or now what should I say? It be the slightest little things. Giving effort that's not reciprocated to you, but yet you feeling like you have to overly do for people, places, and things, or people doing for you, and then now you feeling like you have to be obligated. But at the end of the day, was it done genuinely or ingenuinely? Because when you do stuff for people, you don't do it with the idea or the mindset of a person doing something back. That's not what you're supposed to do it for, but that's what a lot of people do. And so instantly, it's almost like pushing the feelings and emotions off on you, like you have to do this because, so did you do it genuinely, or were you expecting something? Waiting for closure for someone who won't give it. Do you need closure? Or is the closure, I'm over here, you over there? But sometimes people want to just, I need to have that last conversation. I need to have that last talk. I need to have that last interference. Whatever the interaction, that's what it is. Do you? And then what if that is also the way that a person leads their way to get in? Mind you, the journey was cut it and go. The closure was, this was the end. This all, it's over. It's time to move on. But here we are thinking, did I do that right? Should I make a phone call? Maybe they should have called me. Should I be waiting for them to call me? Why do we do that type of thing to ourselves? And back in with the lies, period. Mind you, the closure was you got free from this, because remember, I told you some of these people be abusive, and abusive in ways where God said just run. He said, who needs closure? What is closure? When it's over, what else is there to say? Sometimes that be the thing. Like, I just want to talk to him one more time because I want to be able to explain, what happened. You don't have to. But, it's a thing. People will do stuff to you, and then they'll figure out how to weasel their way back into your life. They cut you off, they left you in a way, and then now they got to figure out, they're going through friends, people, your mama, your daddy, this, that, and the third, trying to figure out what you doing, how you doing it. Why? Because you want to come over here and fuck up something else, right? That just was not enough for you. You gotta want to do something else. But some people, that's just the way it is. They gotta have closure in a situation. I need to have one last conversation with you. I gotta have one less, sexcapade with you. One last time. No, thank you. I'm good. Go on and get. Feeling misunderstood in spaces that you tried so hard to fit in. It's always you. You're always the problem. If I'm always the problem, then I'm going to go ahead and go. You don't need me here. So it's okay. But then have you ever noticed that when you said okay and you don't need me here and I go out and get because I'm the problem, now all of a sudden that's a problem? You didn't try hard enough. I said it because I wanted you to try. Well, we're not going to keep playing games around here either. We all adults. Either you want to be here or you don't. Either you want me here or you don't. So today we're learning. Stop chasing what isn't choosing you. Right. Let me be the solution and go. And period. Stop chasing what isn't choosing you. If they wanted to, they will. Let me tell you how. The lady that said the thing on Valentine's Day, she said, if a person, you've been talking to a person every day and they don't get you nothing for Valentine's Day, then you leave them. And I told y'all, I went in that lady's comments and I told her that's stupid, because guess what? What if the person don't celebrate Valentine's Day? I ain't say that, but technically that's the gist of it. I told her you should actually block yourself, because she said block the person. She should block herself for that comment, right? Anyway, the point of it is If a person is checking on you every day, they're being intentional with you every day, and you're worried about a gift for Valentine's Day, but you're not seeing the blessing in somebody that is checking on you and being intentional with you every day, then clearly the problem is you. But the thing is this: stop chasing what isn't choosing you. If they could, they would. There was a man that one of the videos, somebody caught this man. He didn't even know that the video was being taken, right? They taking a video of him way across the way. He's in a flower shop, a trash can of a flower shop, digging out flowers that they have thrown away to give to somebody for his Valentine's Day. Mind you, it looked like he was picking out a very good bouquet, but he was going through the trash getting what was, good enough. And that was one of the signs. If they could, they would. If they wanted to, they would. Even a nigga that don't have money, he was digging in the trash to make sure that he could give a person something. Don't know who it was going to, but he was definitely over there. Then meanwhile, there was a lady sitting online, and what she said was she's crying, filming herself. And I don't know why people come to the internet with this, but she's filming herself while she's talking to her man, and she's saying, "You never do nothing for me for my birthday. You never do nothing for me for holidays. You never do nothing for me for Valentine's Day." Then why are you telling us? Why are you not exiting stage left if he never ever does? And he's over here giving all the reasons why, he can't. But meanwhile, I can almost guarantee you there is somebody in this world that this man is spending her hard-earned money on, going out of his way to make sure that this person is very well taken care of. He just don't want to do it for her. Stop chasing what isn't choosing you. It's not rejection. It's redirection. Rejection is God's protection. It's like the people said, don't choose them because they was niggers. Well, whoever thought that basically being black was going to save your life because they didn't want you. You didn't fit the qualifications, the aesthetics. Well, thank you. Don't do this because you didn't qualify because all the rich people went to a different country and all of them got certain diseases. Who would have ever thought that being, broke or poor would have saved your ass? Look at God. Won't he do it? But because a whole bunch of people had a whole lot of money to do all the wrong things, now all of them about to be deceased because they did that. Thank you. You're being pushed into alignment with better opportunities, healthier relationships, stronger self-worth, clearer purpose. You're not behind. You're being refined. So a person would say, "Oh, I really wanted to be with this person. I really did," right? But the person didn't really want to be with me. And then in the process, thank God I knew that it don't have nothing to do with me. This person just likes a certain type of person that's going to lay down, roll over, and do everything that they, tell them to do. I'm not going to do that. Right is right and wrong is wrong. You're going to have to put in some work and some effort with me. The same way I'm going to do for you. Meanwhile, back at band camp, then after the person figured out that the person that they was choosing really wasn't all that great after the fact, then guess what they want to do? Spin the block. No, thank you. I'm not giving you access. You don't get to have access to me after the fact. You already said you didn't want to be here. You don't have to call everybody in God trying to figure out if I'm okay. Bitch, cash at me if you think I'm not. If it was really just about me being okay and you wanted to make sure I was okay, Cash App works anyway. My Cash App's still the same. No, you wanted me to allow you to have access to me. You wanted to be able to, come in my face and play in my face and lie some more, like Abby said. Because in order to make sure I'm okay, you don't have to be in my face to make sure I'm okay. I mean, if I'm wrong, somebody correct me. Because like I said, you could have mailed me some money. Mail me a check. Either way, if you were trying to only make sure if I was okay, you can make sure that easily. You don't have to talk to me. You don't got to call nobody. I know you're going to be okay because I'm going to make sure you're okay. Here go this money. You're going to be okay. Period. That wasn't the case. They was just lying. Okay? Either way, there's a spiritual shift happening internally. You may feel more sensitive than usual. Be mindful that people be projecting. So you may be feeling some stuff, you wake up, and that's why it's important for you to check on yourself, because their thoughts ain't your thoughts, but people be wanting to project. Oh, you love me, don't you? Nope, I did. Or I could love you, I'm just not in love with you. I love myself more. So even though you cross my mind, because technically this person over here doing so much projection work, summoning, writing people's name down or whatever it is that they do whenever they doing it. Mind you, I've noticed that them beads have been coming out a lot, right? Y'all know them people that be running around, wearing them beads? Not these beads. It's them other beads. I've been noticing that a lot of that's been showing up too. They practice that stuff. And for some reason, every time I hear that, I don't know what it is, and I ain't trying to judge a book by its cover, and I'm sure it's good people and everything, but every time I hear it, it make me feel like I don't like them. Because they be trying to do stuff. That's them people that, oh, let me have some of your energy, all unbeknownst. Like a lady the other day. And y'all spiritual people that is around here that keep always talking about y'all trying to channel and lock into people's energy, y'all actively saying, oh, I was channeling this person today. Lady got on here the other day and she said, told y'all, one lady said about Kevin Gates, but then I seen another lady say she was in Kai's energy. Did Kai give you permission to be in his energy? I'm very sure not. And so people going to learn to stop doing that. And then they wonder why they'll start saying, oh, well, y'all shouldn't do that because it is demonic and this, that, that. No, you're demonic because you over here being in people's business that ain't nobody asked you nothing. You want money so bad or some type of monetary gain so bad that you get on here and you start wanting to tap into people's energy that ain't asked you nothing, all unprovoked and everything else. And then when them spirits come on that ass, now all of a sudden it's demonic. No, you was doing some stuff you ain't had no business and you invited that to yourself. Stop doing that. Oh, I was in this person's energy. Just because a person is able for you to see don't mean that you should be trying to be in people's energy. You don't know who protecting them people. You don't know what's on them people. And then here you go. The power of life and death is in the tongue. You open your mouth and now you said something about somebody. One girl, they was going, oh, this person's in purgatory. Bitch, you gonna be in purgatory. Stop putting y'all mouth on people and stop inviting stuff into your life that ain't nobody asked you nothing about. But because you want to get on the internet and because you want to be, known for channeling in people's business, I ain't trying to do it. Okay? That's why I'm going to tell you about me every time. And if we running like this and it resonates, guess what? I'm still talking to me. Now, if I say something, I'm cussing your ass out behind something you did, then guess what? God know it and I know it too. But you ain't got to worry about me trying to channel in nobody's energy because I ain't trying to do that. Why are you doing that? Please don't do that. If they start being recognized over here, then that means that at this point, it's meant to be talked about and we must be doing this. So they only going to give me permission to be in because, whatever's there. Give me the permission to be in whatever I'm allowed to be in. If it don't mean it, if I'm not allowed to cross that spiritual boundary, please don't let me do that because I don't want to be involved in these people's business. They like to mess with people too. Gotta be aware. Yes. And that's what as soon as I see it, I'll be like, going there. You gonna be mad as soon as stuff start happening to you. Then your ass gonna be mad. You gonna be trying to blame this, that, and the third, not realizing ain't nobody asked you to be in that man's business. And you out here using people's names and others. Like, bitch, y'all are crazy. But do what thou will. Because I ain't got nothing to say, nothing to do. But do that if you like. Don't be mad when it come back, though. Okay? So protect your energy. All right? Period, point blank. Being more intuitive is important. All right? Because, like I said, be careful of the people who, I know y'all love them, but these are the people that are affecting your intuition the most. They're telling you lies. Your spirit picked it up. You knew it was true. Mind you, here they come, lying. Oh, I didn't do that. 2 weeks later, what you find out? They did that. Be 2 days later, 2 hours later, whatever God puts on it. Literally, you find out later on, that's what it was. You could be feeling slightly detached because, you don't resonate with them. You don't resonate with this situation. But this is also now you knowing, like, it's time for me to go on and get, because I'm not resonating with this. It don't feel the same no more. My spirit telling me I don't belong in this situation. But mind you, I'm your cousin. I'm your family member. You're not allowed to just get up and leave. Yes, you are. It don't matter. Whoever it is. If your spirit telling you something ain't right, it ain't right. Okay? So this is because your soul is prioritizing peace, and peace requires letting things go, forgiving yourself, releasing guilt, trusting your inner voice. And today is about reclaiming your power. Forgiving yourself is the biggest one, because sometimes we stay too long. We stay too long because, loyalty to family, friends, connections, partnerships, this, that, and a third, and knowing that we should have already skedaddled, out of a situation. And also releasing guilt, because why do we have to feel guilty that we're growing? Why do we have to feel guilty that our spirit is telling us that certain people and places and situations are not for us? Because we be really wanting to love these people because, we loving people. That's in our nature. They don't be loving us the way they should, though. This is the reason why God, our spirit, our intuition, our soul feels it. It tells you that it's off. It's not right. It's not reciprocating the energy. So I release what no longer aligns with my highest good. If it's not meant to be here, it's okay for me to let it go. If it's not elevating me, it's okay for me to let it go. I don't have to explain it to anybody. You do not have to explain that. I deserve reciprocated love and effort. Because why do you not think so? And just so y'all know, some of y'all have to be told this. You deserve love. You deserve somebody to do for you the things that you do for yourself or that you do for others. So when you're a person that is giving, like that lady said, she says she always goes out of her way to make sure this person has a great, whatever day, holiday, birthday situation, but yet she's online saying, you never do this. Well, why does she not know that she deserves a person to do equally what she does or more for her? Why are you settling for that? So some people have to be told that you deserve this and more. Whatever you put out, you deserve this and more. You don't have to be the sacrificial anything for anybody. Sacrificing yourself, your happiness, your love. You don't have to do that. And anybody that really loves you will not force you into that. Somebody will come along and show you everything that, and mind you, it could just be as simple as asking the universe for it, asking God for it. Like, I know I'm a good person. I'm not going to settle. Of course, when, stuff is incoming, of course, everything comes. Everything. And if you settle for, the lowest of the low, then that's what you're going to get. Sometimes you have to know that it's okay. Sit still and wait. Just because this showed up don't mean that that's the thing. Mind you, knowing that it's not going to give what you need to be given, I trust divine timing in my life. The time is going to be the time. And sometimes things are being moved around to, make it better. People have free will. People can choose what they want to choose. People can be where they want to be. People can do what they want to do. And regardless of whether or not you may have thought something was for you or not, guess what? If it's not given to you, it wasn't for you, and something better is on the way. I told y'all that even in the midst of a house. I wanted this, God gave me that. And just because something is given at that time, don't also necessarily mean that that's where you're going to be staying at for forever and a day either, because something better than that could be given as well. Sometimes it's the lesson. There's tests and everything. We just have to know. Do the right thing. It's not hard. I no longer chase, I attract. My peace is more important than being understood. Because you could be trying to explain something to somebody, and I told y'all that's one of the things that people be mad at me so fast and so quick, because And not to say it this way, but this is the way I said it. I said, I'm not going to, if, because I'm going to say it the way I said it. I don't like stupid people, right? And not that, people be stupid. And the thing is this. If you're having a conversation with somebody and you already know their perspective on it, why are you trying to get them to change their perspective? That's their thought process. And some things they're just never going to understand because it's not meant for them to understand. So the minute they say a key word or a key sentence in a situation that you already know, you just going to be here arguing this back and forth all day long. I ain't got it. So that's what I mean by that. So I don't mean, it's that version. My peace is more important than being understood. You don't have to understand me. Because a person will ask you, about you, but you don't have to understand me. It's okay. I'm going to be wrong. I'm okay. Go on and get. I like the quietness. You don't have to talk me to death about me and why I made this choice or that choice. It's not for you to understand. I honor my feelings without judgment. Because you have the right to feel the way you feel. People will tell you, well, it's taking you too long to get over something. I done had that happen. Like, why take you almost 5 years to be in a relationship with somebody because it don't take that long? Well, it didn't take that long for me to realize that the relationship that was more important was the relationship with myself. And so I get that people want me to go out and just hop in, the next nigga bed and this and the third. But at the end of the day, I was searching for me. And why is it that I needed to understand or explain or this and the third to anybody as to why it took me so long to anything? Why was it anybody's business? But people will say that. Why is it taking you so long to do this? Why I gotta explain that? It don't make sense. And I can feel the way I feel. Because guess what? Just because you don't know how to love nobody, or just because you think that love takes this long, or you should be 36 days into a relationship and you can love somebody else, that's y'all. That's them. That's whoever that is. It may take me a little bit longer because I'll be out here really loving on a nigga. You know what I'm saying? In real life. So, or just myself at the time. Take it how it resonates. So I can feel the way I feel. You can feel the way you feel. There's no time limit on the way you should feel about anything. And nobody can tell you that. Because people will say it don't take you that long. It took me that long. Okay? What is meant for me will not pass me. What is meant for you will always be for you. If it's not meant for you, and it's gone, it wasn't meant for you. That's the hard thing. People be thinking, oh, but it was mine. It wasn't. It was not. She said, thank you for saying this. I mean, I told you when I'm talking to you, I'll be talking to myself because I'll be having to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, we checking in with our star player because the message is just as much for me as it is for anybody else. God be dropping jewels here and there. Like I said, I just had a whole dream and trying to figure out what the dream was behind this, that, and the third. And mind you, I feel a lot of the things that is already, been said, and then somebody else will come along and then they'll show me this and they'll show me that. And then I'll be trying to piece it together because it's Earth School because, what the hell y'all be trying to say? And why I keep getting lesson after lesson after lesson. Like, I got to be hard-headed. I'm trying to tell you. They must know it. Like, they must know me. I am stepping into a higher version of myself. And plus, most of the time, like, I don't know how anybody else feels, but I know I be harder on myself. Like, that's not good enough. And then on top of that, even like, situations and circumstances surrounding me now, even though I can make, peace with it in my brain, like, okay, if this happens, then this is the way God is telling me to do this. But also, I don't want, certain things to be made harder, but I know I'm going to end up making it harder because I'm not going to do what everybody would potentially think that I would do in that situation. Probably, God knows me because, again, I said I'm a person that likes touching the stove. And so even if it was a direction where they say, oh, you have to do this, that, or third, or that's the direction, I probably won't. Only because, I don't know, y'all, I just be that type of person. I don't know. And people be trying to, oh, well, you should do this, that, or third. I'm not going to do that because if you would do it, then I probably don't like it anyway. See what I'm saying? Because people be just liking stuff that I just don't like. I am stepping into a higher version of myself. And that's not to say anything about the people. It's just, I don't know. I know I'm different than that. So, not to say that their choices are not good for them, it's just not good for me. And I don't want to do that. Today I choose clarity over confusion. So, that's always the way. I would rather have the truth. I don't like to live in the whole like lie and delusion of a thing. Like, tell me the truth. What we doing here? How we gonna do it? How long are we supposed to do it for? And what you think I'm supposed to do? And then when they start saying whatever they saying, and I start saying, you know what, I'm gonna do this because if you do this, I'm gonna do this, and this is, mind you, I've been that way my whole entire life. Like, I'll be telling people early about the true story of a thing. Why they just kicked me right off the TikTok? Really just shut my shit right on down. Didn't even care. Either way. So anyway, the overall energy in this situation is you're being upgraded, not abandoned. Some doors are closing because your standards are rising and new levels. And these are the right things. So the right things are the things that are aligned with you. It doesn't matter what anybody else has to say about it. All right, so that was the message anyway, but they kicked me off early. Anyway, so hopefully this helped. Don't forget, I don't teach tarot. The link is in the bio. And go with God. Always go with God.